At the beginning of episode 2, we see Asano, who was thinking about his marriage to Miss Sumi, and poor Kichiro was completely devastated because of their marriage. On the other hand, Miss Sumi holds Asano's hand and says, "Thank you for marrying me." And now, Asano falls asleep in his room in this manner. But when he wakes up the next morning, he sees Kichiro in front of him, holding a knife, which makes Asano very nervous, and he asks, "What are you doing in my room with this knife?" Kichiro replies, "This is our family's traditional way of waking up family members, and besides, it is also a part of your training. If you want to become a spy, you must keep your eyes open even while sleeping. Come on, now it's time for our family's traditional morning exercises." Kichiro catches Asano in his webs. Meanwhile, Misumi was cooking in the kitchen when she heard some noises coming from Asano's room. When she went to Asano's room, she was surprised to see that Kichiro was making her brother perform different dance steps. Sumi asked what they were doing, and Kichiro said they were doing morning exercises. He then noticed the food she had made and said, "Wow, you made this for me?" However, Sumi got angry, causing Kichiro to stop making Asano dance and become frightened. At that moment, he said it was time to escape, and in the next instant, he grabbed Misumi and, taking Asano, jumped out of the window. Immediately after, Asano's entire house exploded due to a bomb. Kichiro explained that there was a bomb planted in their house and that he would explain everything later. First, he wanted to inform them of their mission as part of the Yozakura family. Their most important duty was to protect Misumi Yozakura. He mentioned that the situation was going to get worse and suggested they leave. Misumi extended her hand to Asano and said, "Let's go." In the next scene, the three of them were in a car. Asano asked why there was a bomb in his house, and Kichiro explained that it was an attempt to kill Misumi. Information spreads quickly in their line of work, and people had already learned that Asano was married to Misumi. Asano questioned why people wanted to kill Misumi, and Kichiro explained that Misumi is the head of the Yozakura family, a family with a history dating back to the Edo period. Members of their family are born with superhuman abilities, but in every generation, there is one ordinary person who becomes the head of the family. Although the head does not possess superhuman powers like the other members, they carry the genes that pass on these abilities to the next generation. The family members with powers protect the head. In other words, Misumi is the head of their family, and they must all protect her. However, as her siblings, they want Misumi to live her life according to her own wishes. Misumi reiterated that she had already told them that she would fulfill her duties as the head if they could risk their lives for the family. Her words brought tears to Kichiro's eyes and anger that she had married Asano. While drinking tea, Kichiro said that Misumi, as the head of their family, would make her mark in the underworld, which is why she was currently gaining knowledge about the ordinary world. But those who hate their family want to kill Misumi to end their family. At that moment, they were attacked by two cars following them and firing bullets. Asano became extremely nervous, but Kichiro assured him that their car was bulletproof. He then signaled the driver, and their car sped up significantly, quickly pulling ahead. Seeing this, one of the attackers pulled out a large gun and started firing at them. However, Kichiro's driver skillfully evaded the attacks. Kichiro, sipping his tea, casually remarked that the driver should drive smoothly to avoid spilling his tea. Asano, puzzled by Kichiro's calm demeanor, asked how he could remain so composed. Misumi reassured him not to worry and to leave everything to Goliath, the family cat, who was driving the car. This sight further shocked Asano. Suddenly, their car was attacked with a bazooka, but Goliath easily evaded it by turning the car. However, Kichiro's tea spilled, which angered him. He climbed onto the roof of the car, and the attackers started firing bullets at him, but he cut through the bullets with his webs. One of the attackers then fired a missile at him, but Kichiro sliced the missile with his webs, causing it to explode on the spot. He then used his webs to destroy the attackers' cars, causing them to explode. Kichiro returned to Asano and explained that Misumi is constantly in danger, and their job is to protect her. He told Asano that he was now part of the Yozakura family and would also have to protect her. To do this, he handed Asano a gun and tasked him with protecting Misumi for the day. In the next scene, we see Misumi at school, entering her classroom and talking to her friends. Asano then makes an entrance and starts checking every corner of the room. One of Misumi's friends, seeing his behavior, asked her if something had happened to Asano. After this, the three boys go to Asano, but Asano starts getting angry, which scares the three of them. They ask him, "Why do you look so scary today?" Then we are shown a flashback where Kichiro tells Asano, "If you protect Misumi and end up killing someone with this gun, you don't need to worry. We will handle everything." Hearing this, Asano gets nervous. Just then, Misumi angrily says to Kichiro, "You shouldn't trouble Asano. You always use poison and bombs, so what will happen with one gun? Now Asano also starts getting nervous about Misumi. But then Kichiro gives his phone to Asano and says, "You need to protect Misumi with this. He is a bomber and makes very good bombs. I've already taken his help in a few missions." Hearing this, Asano asks, "If you know him, why does he want to kill Misumi?" Kichiro says, "In our world, people change quickly if it benefits them. They even join hands with their enemies. Here, you can only trust yourself, and sometimes, you can't even trust yourself. Also, this man is very active on social media. Recently, he's been sharing poems on his social media account that don't make any sense. I'm asking you to protect Misumi because I have to go on another mission. But you need to handle everything well and stay alert because he knows how to make special types of bombs. According to information, he has planted 3 bombs, 1 at your house, which has already exploded, and 2 more, which might be at the school. I don't care if you get killed in an explosion, but you must protect Misumi at all costs. Make sure she doesn't get a scratch, or you can't even imagine what will happen to you." In the present, we see Asano in the classroom, looking around everywhere. He is checking every place where the bomber could have planted a bomb, always staying close to Misumi. But suddenly, a football hits his head. Now, these 3 come and ask, "Are you okay, Asano?" He replies, "Yes, I'm fine." But then he sees someone and starts following that person. After passing the nurse's labs, he continues walking, but then the nurse smiles. In the next moment, when Asano looks back, the nurse has disappeared. During lunchtime, we see Misumi eating with her friends. They are talking about weird things like aliens, but their conversations seem more spooky than alien-related. Meanwhile, Asano still hasn't found the second bomb. He thinks to himself, "I've been watching Misumi all day and have understood many things. She doesn't eat food given by others and always tries to stay with someone. While doing all this, she doesn't think about her own safety and has faced everything alone until now." Just then, these 3 give Asano a small chocolate because the football hit him because of them. Asano eats the chocolate, and the 3 are surprised, saying, "Earlier, you used to get very nervous just hearing your name, but now you've changed a lot." But as soon as Asano realizes this, he starts getting nervous again. Now, Asano feels dizzy and faints. When he wakes up, he finds Misumi in front of him. They are in Kichiro's office because of the nurse's labs. "What do you think, was it right to marry me or not? I'm your childhood friend, but I didn't know anything about you, like your family or that you were the head. I didn't even know that your life was always in danger. Despite all this, you stayed with me. When we got married, I said I would protect you, but I never." Misumi interrupts him, saying, "Marrying you was my decision. Besides, you married into a family of spies. You married a girl who could die at any moment. But you know, Asano, I've always wanted to marry you. So, thank you for marrying me." As Asano looks at Misumi, his gaze shifts to the ceiling. There was a bomb planted there, and now it is about to explode. In the next moment, it does explode. Hearing the sound of the explosion, the other kids think that perhaps the science club is conducting some experiment. Meanwhile, we see Nana with the nurse, but friends, this nurse is actually Kengo, who is an expert in disguise. Besides these 2, Cheyenne was also keeping an eye on Misumi and Asano. On the other hand, in the room where the explosion occurred, we see that both of them are unharmed and safe. Here, Asano starts thinking about how the bomber knew that the 2 of them would be in this room. But then, recalling the day's events, he realizes that everything was planned beforehand, including what they would do and where they would go. Asano then understands where the 3rd bomb is placed, it is on him. The bomb is set to explode in seconds. Asano realizes that the bomber must have deliberately mentioned the bomb so that he would always stay with Misumi, and from the start, he had turned him into a bomb. But now, there was very little time left, so Asano jumps out of the window because he didn't want Misumi to die from his explosion. However, before the bomb could explode, someone catches him. It is Kichiro, who has caught Asano with his webs. We learn that this bomb recharges from the target's heat, which is why it takes time to activate. "I am pleased by your bravery. In our world, where sometimes you can't even trust yourself, you can rely on your family. Though I wish you would die, I won't let you die even if it costs my life. Now, I'm going to let you go, and if you die from falling here, it won't be my fault." In the next scene, we see that all 3 of them are safe. Kichiro still has the bomb to return it to its owner. Just then, Nana and Kengo enter the room, followed by Shinjo, who brings someone along. Seeing them, Misumi asks, "What are you all doing here?" Kengo replies, "We heard about Asano's first mission, so we thought we'd have some fun." Then Cheyenne's drone also arrives. Shinjo had brought the bomb maker along with him. Kichiro ties the bomb to the bomb maker and says, "I told you to stay away from my family. The man asks, "Can you show me a little mercy?" But in the next moment, Koichiro throws him into the sky with his webs, and as he goes up, the bomb explodes, causing fireworks in the sky. Everyone enjoys the spectacle. Just then, Asano receives some messages, but Misumi turns off his phone, and they both start laughing. In the next scene, we see Asano arriving at Misumi's house with his belongings, which makes Koichiro very angry. Misumi says, "Poor Asano's house has been blown up, so he will stay with us now. Besides, we are husband and wife." Hearing this, Koichiro gets even angrier but can't do anything. He says, "Our beds at home are very comfortable, so comfortable that you might not wake up the next morning. So take care of yourself." Asano replies, "Yes, okay," and with that, friends, episode 2 ends.